Okay, I got another collection update, part 24 for you guys, and then I'll have a brief movie haul afterwards. Up first in this portion, we have a Blu-ray DVD combo of The House with the Clock in Its Walls, and this was kind of interesting. I think I've only seen it once or twice. Came out in 2018. It's rated PG. And it is an hour and 45 minutes, and it has Jack Black and Cate Blanchett in it, and there's the only names that I recognize on the back of here, so here we go. House of the Clock in its Walls. That's right there. Next up, we have a 4 movie collection of rom-coms. Excuse me. We have The Ugly Truth, The Backup Plan, Bounty Hunter, and How Do You Know? In that same order, Ugly Truth has Katherine Heigl and Gerard Butler in here. Trying to see if I recognize any of the other names on the back of the package for this. Kevin Conley is in it as well. It is the only one of the 4 to be rated R, and is 96 minutes long from 2009. The Backup Plan, it has Jennifer Lopez in it, and I don't recognize the other guy's name. Alex O'Loughlin. I don't recognize his name. This one is PG-13. Came out in 2010 and is 104 minutes long. And then with Jennifer Aniston and Gerard Butler, we have 2010's The Bounty Hunter, which is 111 minutes at PG-13. And theirs are the only 2 actor names on the case, so those are the only 2 that I recognize. And then How Do You Know is PG-13, came out in 2010, 2012, somewhere in there. And it says 2012 and 2010 on the back here, so that's why I'm unsure as to which is the actual release year. Probably 2010, honestly, but anyways. It is 121 minutes and has Reese Witherspoon, Owen Wilson, Paul Rudd, and Jack Nicholson in it, and with music by Hans Zimmer. So that's pretty cool. I recognized 5 names, and one of them was the composer. Okay. There with that. Next up, we have how to eat fried worms. And that. Goodness. Sorry, I've only been up for about 40 minutes. And it's 10:03 in the morning. And this movie is as nasty as it sounds, because eating worms is disgusting. But that's the only reason why it would be gross. Yeah. Let's see if I recognize any of the cast members listed on the back of the case here, or if there even are any. Oh, Tom Cavanaugh was in this. He's the Reverse Flash in the CW Flash series in the Arrowverse. I'm not entirely sure what year this came out because it's in Roman numerals, but it is PG and 84 minutes long, and it's just a nasty concept. Why would someone want to eat worms? Like, why is that even a thing? There's a few other movies listed on the inside here on a little good grief, a little insert. I want to say that one came out in like the early 2000s, but I don't read Roman numerals past like 10, so yeah, maybe I think 15 would probably be the most or the highest Roman numeral I could read, assuming that's XV. Anyways, up next we have the animated How to Train Your Dragon trilogy here. And I don't have the live action remake, but it's a 1-to-1 translation of the original, and it was done so well. With I think a few returning cast members, like Gerard Butler as Hiccup's dad. Let's see. All three of these are PG. They came out in 2010, 2014, and 2018, respectively. I think Gerard Butler's name would be the only name that I recognize from any of these, but it doesn't show very much cast information on here. The first one is an hour and 38 minutes. The second one is an hour and 42 minutes, and the third one is an hour 44 minutes. So yeah, that is a really solid trilogy. And apparently it's under the Universal umbrella because Epic Universe has a How to Train Your Dragons, or How to Train Your Dragon universe in it. And yet, sure enough, there is a Universal insignia right there. I just got back from Universal Florida Tuesday night, so yeah. Up next, we have Hurricane Heist, which is as ridiculous as it sounds. Why would you want to do a heist in a hurricane? That doesn't make any sense. But it's a good movie, though. Lots of good action sequences. Lots of suspense, because it's like, are these guys going to get sucked into a Category 5 hurricane? I don't know. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but because I have seen it, but I'm not going to spoil it. So, just a really strange premise for a really cool movie, honestly. It's PG-13. Came out in 2018. Goodness, I'm sorry. I keep yawning. And let's see, as far as the cast is concerned, we have Maggie Grace. Hers is the only name that I recognize. I recognize this guy's face because he was Dr. Doom and Fan4stick. Not necessarily claim to fame, because that movie was less than stellar. But it's 100 minutes long for this one. And yeah, I wouldn't say this is like a hidden gem, but it is really good. Underrated, I would think. Next up, we have I Can Only Imagine 1. There's a second one, I think, in theaters, or that just came out of theaters or something. This one is pretty good. I'm curious about the follow-up. We got Dennis Quaid in here, and his is the only name that I actually recognize from this. It's PG, and came out in 2018 and is 110 minutes long. Yeah, here we go. No insert or anything like that in there. Okay. Next up, we have I Could Never Be Your Woman with Michelle Pfeiffer and Paul Rudd. What's funny about this movie's premise, or like the characters at least, is we have the second Ant-Man, because Hank Pym was also Ant-Man in the MCU. Why is the screen so dark? Hold on. There we go. That's better. We have Paul Rudd, who is the second Ant-Man in the MCU, and Michelle Pfeiffer, who was the first Wasp, Janet Van Dyne Wasp. And in this, for some reason, they are together, or trying to be together or something. The reason that's so funny is because they have no romantic connection at all in the MCU because she was married to the original Ant-Man, Hank Pym. So it's kind of funny. The coincidental actor portrayals there. This one came out in 2006. Is PG-13, and where in the heck is the runtime? 97 minutes long, so just a little over an hour and a half. And Paul Rudd and Michelle Pfeiffer are the only two names that I recognize on the back of here. So yeah, there's that. I need to check that one out to see if it's as funny as I think it is. I think that premise or that would be. Next up, we have I Feel Pretty. And I recognize Noemi Campbell's name, and hers, Amy Schumer's, but I don't recognize any of the other names on the back of the case here. So yeah, this one is PG-13. Came out in 2018, just like a couple of the other ones that we've covered already, and is an hour and 51 minutes. And it's cheesy fun, I guess. Next up, we have I Hate Valentine's Day. I personally don't, but this character does, and she has a very fake smile on throughout the whole movie. But this one is PG-13. It is 89 minutes long and came out in, looks like 2009 or 2010. I should recognize his name because on the back, after his name, it credits him as being in Sex and the City. Maybe I just haven't seen far enough in the series to have come across his character in that. Okay then. Anyway, moving on. Now we have one more big old stack to cover. We have one called I Love You, Beth Cooper. And this actress, Hayden Panettiere, I'm not sure how her name is pronounced, but she was in the series Heroes as Claire Bennett, who has a Deadpool Wolverine level healing factor, and even tested said healing factor numerous times, including cutting off one of her big toes and watching it grow back. So yeah, she was even able to survive a character called Sylar cutting her head open to play with her brain and steal her powers. She was like fighting back the entire time, like trying to be like, "Why are you doing this to me? I need to get out of here," type thing. But yeah, it's a weird scene, but it's not super graphic, at least. Not as graphic as I made it sound just now. But this one is PG-13. Came out in 2009 and is 102 minutes long. And this one I think it's safe to say this would fall under like a romantic comedy of sorts. So there you go. Next up, we have the first two Ice Age movies on Blu-ray in the same case together, which I got rid of their DVD cases for them for that reason. Both are PG. The first one came out in 2002, it looks like. And the second one, Ice Age The Meltdown, came out in 2006, which means that the entire Ice Age franchise has come out in my lifetime, because I was invented in 1999. Yes, I did say invented. But let's see. Queen Latifah's in the second one. I don't recognize any of the names for the first one. The first one is 81 minutes long, and the second one is 90 minutes long. So yeah, both are good movies. Next up, we have Ice Age 3. Or wait, I think this one's the fourth one. I do have the first 5. I do have Dawn of the Dinosaurs, but I don't have a case for it. So this one is Ice Age 4 Continental Drift. This one came out in 2012 and is 88 minutes long, still PG. And Jennifer Lopez joined the cast for this one. That's cool. As well as Queen Latifah being in it still. Yeah, there we go. Next up, we have Ice Age 5. I do have a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. However, my Blu-ray just came with the DVD, but I knew that going into it, so I knew it was just the DVD inside, or just the Blu-ray insides, which is what I intended because I had got the DVD previously, and so I was like, it's just the Blu-ray. Perfect. Awesome. But yeah, this one is Ice Age 5 Collision Course. And I don't have Ice Age 6 Buck's Wild Adventure yet. This one has Josh Peck, Simon Pegg, Sean Williams Scott, Jennifer Lopez, and Queen Latifah as names that I recognize. Still PG like the rest of the franchises. Came out in 2016 and is 94 minutes long. And yeah, it's a good one. It's funny. Lots of humor, lots of fun stuff, fun antics going on. I think I heard something about there being a 7th one soon, but I still need to track down number 6 before I worry about a 7th. So next up we have Igor. And this is about this movie, in case you couldn't tell, is about an Igor, but this Igor wants to be a mad scientist himself instead of just the sidekick character that gets kicked around and mistreated. Steve Buscemi and Jennifer Coolidge are the 2 names that I recognize from the description up here. Are there more in the cast list that I recognize? No, there are not. Okay. This one's PG, came out in 2008 and is 87 minutes long, and it was pretty funny. It was interesting. Apparently, you gotta let sidekicks have their time to shine. If they're like Igor and assisting mad scientists, or just in general, because everyone should have their time to shine. Next up, we have 4 holiday movies plus 20 bonus holiday songs. We have I'll Be Home for Christmas, Christmas Snow, A Family Thanksgiving, and A Holiday to Remember. And I think I put this under IL for I'll Be Home for Christmas. So here we go. In that same order that I mentioned them before, we have a 1997 movie that is not rated, in color, and 91 minutes long. As far as the cast is concerned, I don't recognize any of those names for that one, so we're going to go on to Christmas Snow right here. That one is 48 minutes long, so it's very short. Wow. Under an hour. That's not very common for live action. I don't recognize any of the names listed here, but it is in color and not rated. It doesn't even have a release year listed for some reason. Then we have Family Thanksgiving, which is not rated. Came out in 2010. It is 93 minutes long in color. And I recognize Faye Dunaway's name, but none of the other ones on the back of here. So yeah, next up we have A Holiday to Remember, which is not rated, 90 minutes long, and came out in 1995. And I don't recognize any of the names listed there. Then it does have 20 bonus songs. So the songs listed here are Amazing Grace at 4 minutes and 55 seconds. God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen with a runtime of 6 minutes 13 seconds. I Saw Three Ships at 2 minutes and 6 seconds. The Holly and the Ivy for 2 minutes 31 seconds. It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, 3 minutes and 1 second. We Three Kings, 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Feliz Navidad, 3 minutes 14 seconds. Away in a Manger, 1 minute 37 seconds. Oh Christmas Tree, 6 minutes and 26 seconds, which is not the longest of these. That one, I believe, goes to this next song, Silent Night, at 6 minutes 42 seconds. And yes, that is indeed the longest song on this. Then we have Jingle Bells, 1 minute 46 minutes, or minute 46 seconds, my bad. If Every Day Were Christmas, 2 minutes 44 seconds. Joy to the World, 1 minute 44 seconds. We Wish You a Merry Christmas at 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Deck the Halls, 2 minutes and 8 seconds. The 12 Days of Christmas, 3 minutes and 39 seconds. The First Noel, 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Starlight Starbright, 5 minutes and 4 seconds. Rock and Roll Wishes, 3 minutes and 54 seconds. And O Come All Ye Faithful at 4 minutes and 6 seconds. So that is cool. Here's the back of the case where I was just reading all that information off of. And moving on. Next up, we have The Illusionist with Paul Giamatti, Jessica Biel, and Edward Norton. Well, this is in this I might recognize the names of. Just them. Just those three. Okay. This one is PG-13. It's a magician type movie. It came out in looks like 2006 and is 109 minutes long. And it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. So it's my thumbs up. Next up, we have I'm Not Ashamed. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo. As far as the cast is concerned, I don't recognize any of the names listed down here. It is PG-13 for thematic material, teen drinking, smoking, disturbing violent content, and some suggestive situations. Looks like it came out in 2016, and it is for the runtime here. Where is it? Why am I not seeing the runtime? Oh, good grief. How long is this thing? Let's see if it's up inside. It does not. That's not helpful. Okay then. Well, I'm not sure how long this one is, but I have watched it. I didn't quite fully understand it on the first watch through. It seems like one that I would need to watch a couple of times to be able to understand. But yeah. Next up, we have Imagine That with Eddie Murphy and Martin Sheen. Thomas Hayden Church as well. Okay, cool. It's PG. Came out in 2009 and is 107 minutes long. Martin Sheen was Andrew Garfield's Uncle Ben in The Amazing Spider-Man, and Thomas Hayden Church is Sandman in both Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man No Way Home, which is finally on Disney Plus. 5 years too late. Come on, why did it take this long to get it on there? Seriously? And as predicted, it is between I wasn't sure if it would be after or what was it, Eternals or something like that, or before it, but it's between Eternals and Multiverse of Madness. I knew it would be before Multiverse of Madness, but it's also after Far From Home, obviously, because it picks up right where that one left off. So, but it's finally on there 5 years later, because it came out in 2021. Anyway, next up we have Inception. This is another movie that you kind of need to watch more than once to get a grasp of what's happening in it. This one's PG-13 and 148 minutes. It has a lenticular slipcover. But I don't see. Oh, there we go. Let's see if I can get it to. There we go. World bending. The mirror dimension scenes for Doctor Strange and No Way Home, and I think technically, well, no, not the ones in Multiverse of Madness, but in No Way Home and Doctor Strange 1, the world folding in on itself comes from this visual style, because this movie does the same thing. This one came out in 2010, and it's a Christopher Nolan movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Tom Hardy, and Michael Caine. And yeah, I've only seen it once. I don't fully understand this one either. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say. It's visually stunning. I'll give it that. But yeah. Next up, we have, I do have both Incredibles, but again, I don't have the case for the first one. So we have Incredibles 1 and 2. Both are PG. I don't, off the top of my head, remember the runtime of the first one. I think it's like 90-something minutes or something. This one is 118 minutes long, and came out in 2018 or 2019, thereabouts. I don't recognize any of the names listed on the back of here, which there aren't very many. Other than Brad Bird, I recognize his name for some reason. But yeah. Incredibles 2. Next up, we have Independence Day 1 and 2 Resurgence. We'll talk about the first one here first. This one's a classic alien invasion type story, set on Independence Day, the 4th of July. It came out in, looks like 2002. We have Will Smith, Bill Pullman, Jeff Goldblum, Randy Quaid, and those are the names that I recognize on the back of here. It looks like it came out in 1996. Actually, the DVD came out in 2002. My bad. It's 153 minutes long, and I enjoyed this one. It's pretty good. Like I said, it's a classic alien invasion type thing. So there you go. In it, Jeff Goldblum is obsessed with recycling for some reason. And the second one's not nearly as good, but I still find it enjoyable. This one came out in 2016. It's 120 minutes, so exactly 2 hours long, and PG-13. This one has Liam Hemsworth, brother of Thor, Chris Hemsworth, Jeff Goldblum, who everyone knows who Jeff Goldblum is. He's a great comedic actor. Bill Pullman reprised his role in this as well. And those three are the names that I recognize on the back of here. So, yeah, this one's not nearly as good, but it is another Independence Day alien invasion story. So, there you go. Next up, we have Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I feel like um, all that could have been said about Raiders of the Lost Ark being a classic adventure movie um, has already been said. So at this point, came out in 1981. It is 115 minutes long. We got Harrison Ford and Alfred Molina was in this one as well. Um, and it is PG. This one came out before the PG-13 rating was invented. In fact, I think PG-13 came around because of Temple of Doom. So, but Temple of Doom is PG still. Speaking of, here's Temple of Doom. It's in one of the weird thin cases, like the first one and third one are. But yeah, my mom hates this one because of the monkey brain scene. Yeah, this one got too dark and creepy and so they're like, okay, for the next one we're gonna have to make it PG-13 because this one barely passes for PG, even from the 1984 standards. This one is PG still, like I stated already, and is 118 minutes. And I don't think this one is as good as the first and the third one are, but it is still a fun Indiana Jones adventure. I like the first, third, and fifth most. I guess the odd numbered ones. Temple of Doom and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull aren't my favorites of the bunch. I don't hate Kingdom of the Crystal Skull like a lot of people do, but it's definitely not my favorite of the bunch. I like the odd numbered Indiana Jones movies, including Dial of Destiny and this one, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. This one is a great, great Indiana Jones movie. This one adds Sean Connery into the mix as Henry Jones Sr. And of course, all three of these have a very good, iconic John Williams score. And yeah, this one is the first of the bunch to be PG-13. Came out in 1989 and is 126 minutes. Very cool. Next up, we have some Indiana Jones bonus materials, and judging from the age of George Lucas here, I'm guessing this came out after or shortly after the original trilogy of Indiana Jones movies did. This one came out in 2003, which is indeed before Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out. This one is 183 minutes, and it's kind of an anthology documentary type thing, so it doesn't require a rating per se. In fact, it says US and Canada not rated. So, yeah. It's behind the scenes featurette type stuff with Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. Interesting. Okay. Very cool. Next up, we have all three formats for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I have a 2-disc DVD. This one is or 2-disc Blu-ray. I mean, I have like 3 individual DVDs, and then a 2-disc Blu-ray with a Blu-ray bonus features disc. This one added Shia LaBeouf to the mix, as well as Cate Blanchett. And it had Marion return from the original, or the character who played, or the actress who plays Marion in the original, I should say. I don't know what her real name is. But this one is PG-13 as well. Came out in 2008 and is 122 minutes long. Oh, Karen Allen. That's who plays Marion, it says on the back. Okay, so I recognize her name as well. I used to mistake her for Lois Lane in the Christopher Reeve Superman movies a lot because they look very similar to me. But yeah, very cool. Not the best Indiana Jones movie, but I wouldn't say it's terrible. It's just not the best. And then here's the 4K Steelbook version with that on the inside and the skull itself printed on the back. And I couldn't resist getting the Steelbook because this design just looks so cool. Plus, I wanted to triple format all of the Indiana Jones movies, and so far I've only done that with one of them. So there's that, I guess. Next up, we have I, Robot with Will Smith, and this one's a really cool action movie. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It's PG-13, came out in 2004. Will Smith is the only name that I recognize on the back of here, and it is 114 minutes long. Excuse me. Yeah, I thought it was really good. So yeah. Last up for this video before I do a much shorter haul video is the Iron Giant Brad Bird film. That's why I recognize the name, because Brad Bird made this. This is the signature edition. I was surprised that it was an animated movie. I always thought because I saw Ready Player One first, where there was a live action Iron Giant in it, I thought the original was live action, but I was not disappointed. It is such a good movie, a great animated movie. I would agree with the Wall Street Journal here that it says it's an instant classic, and yeah, I agree with that. Either version is PG, the theatrical and the signature edition. They're both PG. Theatrical cut is 87 minutes long, and the signature edition is 90 minutes long. The reasoning for their PG ratings are different. The theatrical cut is PG for fantasy, action, and mild language, whereas the signature edition is PG for fantasy, action, violence, language, and some thematic material and smoking. We have Jennifer Aniston in this one, and Vin Diesel. Oh, I didn't realize he was in this. You'd think after seeing Guardians of the Galaxy so many times and hearing his voice that I would recognize Vin Diesel's voice. But anyway, great movie. An instant classic for sure. And yeah, that is it for this particular video. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next one, which will just be a brief haul video going over these titles here. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.